Yahusha, Joshua 5. And it came to be, when all the kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan westward, and all the kings of the Canaanites who were by the sea, heard that Yahuah had dried up the Mayim of the Jordan from before the children of Yisrael until we had passed over, and that their heart melted, and there was no spirit in them any longer, because of the children of Yisrael. At that time Yahuah said to Yahusha, Make knives of flint for yourself, and circumcise the sons of Yisrael again, the second time. So Yahusha made knives of flint for himself, and circumcised the sons of Yisrael at the hill of foreskins. And this is why Yahusha circumcised them. All the people who came out of Mitzrayim, who were males, all the men of battle, had died in the wilderness, on the way, after they had come out of Mitzrayim. For all the people who came out had been circumcised, but all the people who were born in the wilderness on the way as they came out of Mitzrayim had not been circumcised. For the children of Yisrael walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the nation, the men of battle who came out of Mitzrayim, were consumed, because they did not obey the voice of Yahuah, to whom Yahuah swore not to show them the land which Yahuah had sworn to their fathers that he would give us, a land flowing with milk and honey. And Yahusha circumcised their sons, whom he raised up in their place, for they were uncircumcised, because they had not been circumcised on the way. And it came to be, when they had completed circumcising all the nation, that they stayed in their places in the camp till they were healed. And Yahuah said to Yahusha, Today I have rolled away the reproach of Mitzrayim from you. So the name of the place is called Gilgal to this Yom. And the children of Yisrael camped in Gilgal, and performed the Passover on the 14th Yom of the month at evening on the desert plains of Jericho. And they ate of the stored grain of the land on the morrow after the Passover, unleavened bread and roasted grain on this same Yom. And the manna ceased on the Yom, after they had eaten the stored grain of the land. And the children of Yisrael no longer had manna, but they ate the food of the land of Canaan that year. And it came to be, when Yahusha was by Jericho, that he lifted his eyes and looked, and saw a man standing opposite him, with his sword drawn in his hand. And Yahusha went to him, and said to him, Are you for us, or for our adversaries? And he said, No, for I have now come as captain of the armies of Yahuah. And Yahusha fell on his face to the aretz, and did obeisance, and said to him, What is my Adoni saying to his servant? And the captain of the armies of Yahuah said to Yahusha, Take your sandal off your foot, for the place where you stand is Kodesh. And Yahusha did so. My thoughts. 40 years before Yahusha, Joshua, took the helm, Moses led the first Passover, a pivotal moment marking the Israelites' escape from Egyptian bondage, underscored by Yahuah's direct intervention. This wasn't just a miraculous rescue, it was Yahuah stepping into history to save his people, a core event in the Hebrew narrative that epitomizes divine deliverance. When Yahusha, Joshua, later presided over Passover at the cusp of entering the Promised Land, it wasn't a mere nod to tradition. Instead, it reaffirmed Yahuah's unwavering promise and presence, linking past deliverance to the hope ahead. Yahusha's leadership during this time wasn't just about continuity. It was a live demonstration of Yahuah's ongoing salvation story, a narrative of relentless pursuit and rescue by the divine. The shared name Yahusha, meaning Yahuah is salvation, between Joshua and Jesus, Yahusha, is deeply symbolic, underlining their integral roles in Yahuah's plan. Joshua brought the Israelites into a physical promised land, while Jesus, Yahusha, opened the way to spiritual salvation and eternal life. This duality in their names and missions encapsulates the essence of Yahuah's saving grace, spanning from tangible deliverance to spiritual redemption. This narrative, enriched by understanding the roles both Yahushas play, isn't merely historical. It's a reflection of Yahuah's ceaseless faithfulness showcasing his salvation's depth, from Egypt's physical liberation to the spiritual freedom offered through Jesus. This story invites us, especially those of us who seek Yahuah's heart directly, to ponder the profound implications of these divine interventions and the personal call to engage with this ongoing relationship with Yahuah, transcending the boundaries of formal religion and entering into a heartfelt commitment to embody his will and purposes.